Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426 and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive or P-Bandai exclusive HGUC Red Rider. So this one actually arrived yesterday, pretty early in the morning, so I was actually pretty happy to build it around. Now first of all, let's just get a few things out of the way. Number one, this is not my first Pale Rider review. I've reviewed a good amount of Pale Riders, so I won't be going over articulation because number two, this is the same base base molding or like sculpting, so going from Bandai. So for those who don't know, the Pale Rider mold is a very old mold at this point. It existed around, I think it was around the PlayStation 2 era, and the original Pale Rider kit was actually used as a promo item at that time. But later they released it as a premium Bandai kit, which was still rare at the time, and now today they're still reissuing that kit time to time. So yeah, it's a very old mold, and even back in the day it was slightly ahead of its time, but the main problem was that it was sticker heavy, and even to this day it is still sticker heavy, which I'll explain why. So yeah, so this is not my first Pale Rider kit to review, and number two, and once again they're still using the same mold, hence the same articulation and most of the parts as well. So I will go over like what are the basic changes compared to most Pale Riders as well. Alright, so let's get on to the review. So the Red Rider, just to be clear, I've only known this mold suit actually existed for a few months. The only first time I actually figured out was thanks to Gundam Battle Operation 2. They actually added this unit, and I was very surprised to see another Pale Rider variant out there. So I just checked the wiki just in case, and apparently the Red Rider actually did exist even quite some time compared to like the Black Rider and the White Rider, which I think was just really Bandai just made out of recently. But basically there is a manga reference of this guy as well. I'm not sure if the manga this is like the main character unit or anything like that, but apparently it was referenced in the manga, although I haven't really read that manga, or I don't think there is even a way for me to read that manga at this point. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. Alright, so let's talk about components. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the mold suit itself. Definitely the most simple looking Pale Rider I have seen so far, and at the moment I've only applied the eye sticker and the head camera stickers for now, because the stickers are always been complicated for this kit as well. And currently I do have the shield connected onto the right arm as well. And then one of the unique changes is that, obviously other than the armor, is that usually we would have a beam saber holster like this on both sides, but in this case there's only one, just like in the game. And then on the other side is a ammo mag. But once again, this is not the type of ammo mag where you can actually use. This is actually specifically made to be attached to this side skirt, because the peg is actually, there's a peg here and it's actually on an angle. So this is not one of those mags where you can actually use it onto the gun. So that's something I just wanted to mention. Alright, now here are the stuff that you are supposed to be getting. So number one, surprisingly, they actually give you a regular machine gun, the same one as we see in the Gundam Ground type or the Jim Ground type. So same thing, although the leftover parts is kind of interesting going on here, but as far as I know, this is identical. And this one, the mag is slightly in the sand brown color, and this one is something you can actually use on the gun. Just wanted to point that out. So let me get rid of that as well. And let's see, here you actually do get a basic shield going on here. I was kind of surprised because in Gundam Battle Operation 2 this was not such a thing. There was no such thing, although this could be more of the manga reference, because you do get this specific symbol to attach onto the shield. So once again, I need to do some research on what this is. So that's that. And yeah, so those were the basic stuff that we have seen before. Now here are the unique stuff. So number one, we have this specific machine gun with a dedicated trigger finger hand in an angle. So this weapon actually does exist in the Gundam Battle Operation 2 as well. You do get a second handle here. What's interesting is that this is one of those machine guns where its fire rate is slightly slower, but it has more punch to it, so it fires each round more powerful. And this also works as a close combat weapon. You get two of these beam effect parts going on here, and you can attach this here. This is also can also be done and seen in the game, and this becomes a close combat weapon. Usually in the game, he would either slice or stab with this form. And once again, you still have to use the same ammo clip here, but once again, I've noticed that these do not fall off that easily. Once they're in, they're in. They just don't come out that easily. But yeah, just wanted to point that out, and this is pretty cool if you ask me. So I'm actually really loving this gun as well. And now one of the big finales. So one of the main weapons regarding the Red Rider that kind of separates from the other riders is its shield. This is also another shield, so you can attach. You can see there is a connecting point here, but if you play the game, Gundam Battle Operation 2, you can definitely tell this is no regular shield as well. So this shield can transform into a gigantic sword. So if you open this section up, you take this red part out and replace it with the handle. So basically in real, in game wise, I would assume the handle is inside here and it would pop out when in need, and you attach this gigantic piece here. So attaching might be tricky, so because you have to like line up these parts properly, and if you do, this becomes a huge gigantic blade. Now from the Zeon side mobile suit, this isn't too this is kind of like not there are references of long spears, like giant javelins, giant axes, giant swords, but in the Federation style weapons we barely see giant swords. So this is extremely cool if you ask me. So I think they did an excellent job in replicating this as well. The only thing that I would say lacking would be because of the handle aspect, you need to apply this gigantic red sticker onto the end tip of the handle right over here to match the colors. But oh well. Yeah. So that is pretty much it for the, sorry about that, so basic stuff that you're supposed to be getting. Before we go on to the leftover parts, here is the sticker sheet. That is a lot. So one thing I've noticed that's kind of interesting is that now usually the Pale Rider has a visor, but in this case they give you two options, not only to make the green visor or red visor, or the exam Hades system activation thing going on here. And for the Pale Rider, in this case, this is Aries mode. Yeah, that's mentioned right over here. And they give you the option whether to have the visor or without the visor. So I think this could be something of reference to the manga itself, because in Gundam Battle Operation 2, there's only, you have the visor unit. So this is kind of interesting. So just wanted to point that out. So which is why we have 4 eyes, and depending on which style you go, you have to choose the eyes as well. So apparently, maybe in the manga it's supposed to be yellow. And you can see we have multiple vents stickers here. So one thing is that for the Pale Rider units, when they're in normal mode, obviously their vents are going to be in their original color. For in this case, they seem to be more of a yellow color. But a regular Pale Rider would have more darker color vents. But when they activate their exam mode or other system, exam, Hades, or Aries mode, what happens is that their vent starts venting and gets heated up, and now they turn into gold color, which is why we have all these gold colored stickers going on here. And this also applies to the head, not only the head vents, but even the back head vent. So, which is why this kit becomes messy in time, because there's so many stickers going on here as well, which is why I decided to not apply any of these, but just the eyes as well. So, so these are all vent related areas as well. Here is that red sticker I was talking about, the handle. Here are the vents, or vent or thruster areas for the leg thrusters on the side as well. These I believe are supposed to be also related to the thrusters as well. And finally, here we have these that are supposed to be, which I'm still not sure why they are still doing this, that you have to cover up the shoulder area, this specific area, with a gray sticker. So yeah. Oh boy. Now, regarding premium manga kits, it's always a big trouble explaining what leftover parts is. Now, here we go with the leftover parts. So here are the parts that I'm going to take out immediately, since I did cut them out of their plate. So here we go. So these are the ones I cut off from the plate. So number one, we do get a leftover beam saber as well, a beam saber hilt, so that's nothing too special going on there as well. Here we have the extra head. So if you're going to make the head without the visor, this is the head sculpt that you're supposed to use. And I believe this is the part that goes inside there as well. And then here we have the arms. Now originally the Pale Rider would have these small beam guns attached to their arms, but since we don't have that, we don't use these parts as well. And then here we have some inner parts as well, so leftovers. And here we have the beam saber holding area for the waist. So if you want to go double beam saber, you can do that as well. Alright, so that's that. Here we have the parts that I haven't cut off. Here, number one, we have the green visor. It's always good to have leftover visors. Because of the leg design has changed, we do get the original leg cover design. And then here we have some leftover polycaps. Nothing too special about that. Not technically a leftover part, but we do get the beam saber effect parts, but technically you'll be using one. I haven't just cut that yet. Here are some other more red parts. So here are the more of the original chest parts and backpack parts. And here are those beam guns I was talking about. So if you do want to, for some reason, modify this to make it look more like the original, you can do that as well. And here we have a buttload of leftover parts. For some reason, they give you 2 of these machine gun half parts going on here, and yet they tell you to use the one that's on the separate plate and not this one. I've compared it before. I compared this with the other one, and it's identical. So I'm not sure why they gave you another half of this as well. And here we have the other like hand parts, inner frame parts as well here and there. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let's see what we got. So, once again, the form factor is pretty much identical from before. Most of the parts are identical. It's just a few changes here and there due to the structure going on here, but still it retains the same, articulation going on here. So, basically, just a quick mention, we get a nice, although I believe some Pale Riders did have some limitations here. For this guy, we do get a full bend going on here. Leg-wise, still the same bend because of the design here. Alright, so one of the differences is that compared to the original Pale Rider, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure why the hand popped out, is that once again we have, regarding the shoulder areas, we get these extra armor parts which are actually separate pieces, so I thought that was pretty cool, front and back. The head, once again, there are slight minor changes in each Pale Rider head, so once again this is also a little bit more, I would say more on the simple side, but once again if you attach all the stickers like on the vents, the back of the head, it's gonna get extremely messy here. And then there's also, you're supposed to apply stickers for these areas as well, for these vents area, and this will also be different colors as well. So once again, I wanted to make this guy look less messy as possible, because I have applied all the stickers before or tried to color them. So that's that. And then once again, one of the changes is that on the knee area we actually get this additional armor. So once again, that's a new thing. On the side situation, pretty much the same situation, but you have to apply a buttload of stickers around here. And I believe the backpack has become a little more simple as well, although I could be confused with the cavalry backpack, but it might be the same backpack as well. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the kit. Once again, not many has changed, but with minor changes going on here, I would say this is the most simple looking Pale Rider out there in terms of including the equipment as well. So once again, I think that's a pretty good thing. So I'll be right back with the equipment demonstrations. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the first demonstration going on here. I gave it the double machine guns. Once again, I believe this machine gun does not require a specific trigger finger. It's the style of handle where you can just slide it into the hand, so that works pretty well. And here we have the giant sword folded up into its shield form. I think it works very well. I mean, it has the form factor. It's a good size to be used as a practical shield, so I have no problems with that. And here we have the gun, the specific machine gun. I forgot if this actually had a name here, so let me just check the manual if they actually mentioned the name. Now, most premium Bandai kits don't really give many descriptions going on here, so once again, yeah, no specific name for the machine gun. But once again, I do like the fact that they actually gave you a dedicated trigger finger hand that's in an angle, so which is why you can actually do very nice stab pose going on here. Also, yeah, there is a second handle here, and according to the manual, you could do the double hand pose as well. Although for this machine gun, I don't think that's really necessary as well. Although that's just my guess, but I would definitely need to watch or read the manga to see more details regarding this weapon. But yeah, I absolutely love this form factor as well. Alright, so we've seen the first demonstration. I'll be right back with the second demonstration using the giant sword shield. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the final demonstration going on here. So here we have the shield transform into its giant sword form. So once again, this is a very giant sword, and once again, it's a very uncommon weapon when it comes to like the Federation's side of the weapons. So I think it works very well. The manual does mention that you can do double hand pose, which I think any giant sword weapon, I think you really gotta try this at least once. But once again, I would like to mention a few things. Number one, you can hold it with both hands. Number two, it is a bit on the heavy side. You can see the ball joint on the hand there is like one small touch and it's drooping like that. So it is a heavy weapon. I would like to mention that. So eventually, if you're gonna leave this with one hand, eventually it's going to eat up the ball joint as well. So, and another thing I found interesting is that according to the manual, it also mentions that you can just attach it to the shield like this on this form. Although I'm not sure how you would use it, but it would require a lot of extra pilot skill to master this style as well. And that is pretty much it. Anything that I haven't showed is pretty much the really basic stuff. So like, for example, the basic shield, the regular machine gun. I think we've seen those multiple times at this point in my channel as well. So I don't think I really need to mention those as often as I think. So yeah. So in the end, I would say if you're a collector of the Pell Riders, obviously you're gonna need this to finish your finish your collection going on here. I do have high respect for anybody who collects kits. Now, just because Gunpla kits are are not always meant to be like customized or need to be really detailed of it. If you're a collector, you collect stuff. That for me, I consider myself a collector. I just enjoy building and collecting stuff as well and reviewing them. So yeah, in the end, once again, just be aware the Pell Rider is not a new kit. It's been reused multiple times. It's a very old kit at this point. It's very sticker heavy, so keep that in mind. So if you're a collector, definitely go for it. If you don't like the stickers, or if you're buying this for just customization purposes or just for the parts, I also would go for that. But I would not recommend this as like your first time kit ever, because you might get the wrong idea of Gunpla. You might get the wrong idea of what Premium Bandai is. The name is Premium Bandai for limited edition stuff, but Premium Bandai does not mean everything is better than the regular stuff. It's just limited edition items. Just the term, don't get the term premium, get the wrong idea to you, because a lot of people seems to get the wrong idea where Premium Bandai, oh, that means it has to be better than everything, right? That's not the case. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching the review. This was a review of the Premium Bandai exclusive HGUC Red Rider. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews on, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.